So, one thing I've learned from studying theology and the history of Christian experience is that your professor doesn't necessarily want to make things easy for you. That is, there's always a kind of prodding to consider more, to think, for example, about contexts, how people of the past, people of different cultures, how their experience might really have been like fundamentally different from mine, from our experience. So there's a prodding to think about different places, different perspectives. And I guess also a prodding not to settle into only one way of thinking about a situation or issue or religious or theological idea without really thinking carefully about other points of view, other experiences. I was listening to this interview, this podcast with Imbolo Mbwe, who is a Cameroonian American writer. And she was talking about some things I've heard before about novels or really literature of any kind and how it's related to empathy. And I was thinking about studying the history of religion and theology and how it could relate to that.
Just a couple months before the election, the Washington Post ran an article about your book, Behold the Dreamers, and the headline says, "Behold the Dreamers, the one novel Donald Trump should read now." What did you think when you saw this headline?
I thought, oh boy, does he read? No, I think what they were trying to get at, was that novel and this one as well. They're all about empathy, right? I mean, these days we hear the word empathy left and right. But that is what literature is. Writing both novels really pushed me to go beyond myself, to really think about the other side, the other people who I don't agree with, the other people who have these points of view that really are so different from mine. And so what that article was trying to say, I believe, is that this is a time, like every time, and again, this gets said over and over, it's become a cliche, but really it's a time for us to consider that other people do have a point of view. With both of my novels, people say to me, "Oh, both of your novels show so much kindness to everybody. You don't exactly take sides." But that was not how I started. Right? When I started writing both novels, I took sides. I said, "This is the side I support." Like Behold the Dreamers is about an African immigrant family and a wealthy white American family. And when I started a novel, I definitely took sides because I empathize with the African immigrants. Right? They were like me. They were African immigrants. They didn't have money. They were trying to settle in a new country, and I completely showered them with empathy. With the white Americans, I said, well, the rich white people, they don't really need my empathy. But I had to learn that it doesn't matter. Everybody is worthy of your empathy.
I kind of have mixed feelings when I think about empathy. I guess I relate to Mbwe when she says at first that, the privileged white people don't need my empathy. I mean, I can't help but think about a guy who had a lot of power and did a lot of damage and basically was standing up for white racists, helping out white supremacy and saying, there are very fine people on both sides. I mean, really? Is that what we're doing? Because I really don't think that I want to give that racist stuff my emotional energy. Is that what they're asking me to do when I'm studying religion, theology, or history? I haven't got this all figured out. I guess I'm wrestling with what we do with this kind of empathetic approach to knowing, to learning. Maybe we can talk about it sometime. I'd love to hear what you think.